Anita of My Duke and I podcast, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And if you're seeing the show for the first time and you like the show, please subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell so when an episode comes out, you'll be the first to know. Well, it doesn't get any worse for the royal family. And first, Harry described how William attacked him in his own home. That was unbelievable. But listening now to another excerpt of Harry's memoir Spare, where for all these years Harry was chastised at the tender age of 22 for wearing that Nazi costume, and it was all along William and Catherine who encouraged him to wear that uniform, and Harry had to take the brunt of the blame, where William got away looking fantastic and Catherine looked innocent. Meanwhile, Harry had to put his head down and walk in shame, knowing that his brother enabled him to wear that Nazi costume. Shame on William. Shame on William for being the worst big brother in history. To literally put his brother out there, to suffer in public the continuous bad advice so that he can look good in the public eye, while Harry looks like a train wreck. Shame on William. Diana must be rolling in her grave to know that this is the heir that she produced. I hope William is never king. I hope Charles is the last. And I want to see how the media, the British media, the Australian media is going to spin this story, because you cannot spin a story like that. How can Catherine and William have a ball laughing at a Nazi costume, a costume of someone that tortured thousands and thousands and thousands of people? How can you laugh at something like this, Catherine and William? Where is your heart? What kind of people are you guys? If this is privilege, I certainly don't ever want to have that kind of privilege. Unbelievable that Harry had to suffer for all these years, as he said in his documentary, that this brought a lot of shame to him, and this is something that he was so sorry about. And I'm grateful that Harry apologized publicly. But where's William's apology? William, what do you have to say for allowing or encouraging and choosing a costume that signifies hate for your brother to wear in a party that you also attended? As the bigger brother, older than Harry, you should have said to Harry, that is not a good idea. Take the other costume instead, because that Nazi costume symbolizes hate and the torture of thousands and thousands of people. Instead, you allowed him to wear the costume on purpose so you can look good in the public eyes and Harry could be shamed. I have never seen anything like this. William, jealous of your brother. Your brother was popular. Harry was so popular with everybody. Harry was the people's prince. everybody had fun around Harry. Everybody loved Harry. And you saw that, William, and you decided to lead Harry in the wrong direction. You and your wife choosing a costume for Harry that you know was not going to go good with the public. But yet you encouraged him and you chose that costume for you to wear, and you laughed at it from where you guys came from to all the way to the party. Shame on you guys. Shame on you guys. What explanation, William, do you have for this costume that you chose for Harry? Shame on you guys. That's why I say end the monarchy. And Charles, a horrible father, letting his children run wild, unprotected, not being a father, chasing after Camilla and not raising his children properly, letting his children just go wild out there to the point that they're fighting and ready to kill each other. Shame on Charles. If Diana was alive, this would have never happened. But because you had a godless, worthless man raising two young, impressionable kids, that is what the end result yielded. It is a shame. My heart goes out to Harry and his family. And Spear better come right now because I just cannot wait to read this book. And I hope that once and for all, this book puts an end to this monarchy. I hope that Harry dragged them so much in his book to the point where people in England wake up and say, we do not want a monarchy. We do not want somebody that is a future king that has encouraged hate and the demonstration and the uplifting of a Nazi uniform. Because anybody who does that, and especially knowing that it is wrong, this man had supposed to, William, gone to a very good school where he should have gotten a good education in history, and he couldn't see that was wrong. There's something wrong about this guy, and that's the reason why this guy should never, ever, ever be king. That's just my opinion. End the monarchy. This is horrible. Catherine sitting there like she doesn't have a tongue in her mouth to speak. But meanwhile, she's conniving and deceptive and wicked. And that's the reason why she and William fit so good together. They're both connivers. Jealous, too jealous individual. Catherine being jealous of Meghan because Meghan had talent and she was smart and beautiful. And Catherine, who sat there, all she did was mumble. A 5-year-old child could speak better than her. And talking about she hasn't put a foot wrong. Oh yes, she has. She's put a foot wrong with choosing a Nazi costume for Harry to wear. Shame on Catherine. Shame on her. All she can do is being a clothes horse, walking around with clothes and that big ugly smile of hers, thinking that is going to change the world, and her waves. Ridiculous woman. I hate to put a woman down, but when you have a woman like this, shaming and abusing her brother-in-law and her sister-in-law, I cannot see a way that I can appreciate you and like you when you do those types of things. These past couple of years has been terrible for Harry, and it didn't have to be like this. It is all because of Catherine and William. Made Meghan's life miserable in England because they set their dogs, the press, on Harry and Meghan in England. It was all they're doing. because they couldn't stand the fact that Harry and Meghan was doing a better job than the future king and queen of England. Let me see what the British people are going to say and do. Let me see what these so-called royal reporters are going to say about this one. I cannot wait to read Harry's book. Guys, we're going to have a live viewing of Anderson Cooper's interview with Harry, because I am telling you, this is something for us to all be in the same, we squaddies, to be in the same sort of space on YouTube listening to this interview. Oh my goodness, I couldn't even sleep last night. I couldn't even sleep last night after hearing that type of mess. That's why when we see people walking around and they have this and they have that, and they're living in castles and they look like they have no problems in the world, we don't know what is happening behind closed doors. And we should be grateful for the little that we have and the peace and comfort that we have, because what Harry went through, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. He has been abused in this royal family from the age of 12 to what is it now, 2 years Harry is in the United States. Harry has been abused in England, and thank God he is relieving himself of all of that trauma. And it's good to talk about it. It is cathartic to talk about the trauma and the emotional distress that his family caused him. And if they're mad about it, that is on them. They created this nightmare. They created the problem, and they're just going to have to learn to deal with it and face the public. That's it. Guys, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.